wonder how long it takes for one person to show up. Oh, I have one viewer. Hi. I was saying to nobody, I wonder how long it takes for one viewer to show up. Imagine, like, I'm just sitting here for 5 minutes staring at nothing. Before I get it. Oh, I can do a Q&A. Let's see. Okay. Oh, hi. Just writing the question here. Okay. What? To know. Healing the inner child. Okay. Okay. Putting my question out there. Oops. What is that? That's not a... Oh, hi. We got 2 people. Okay, there we go. Hi, Riley. I'm just writing the question here. Oh, we got 3. How is everybody doing this Sunday morning? Hi, Redevolt. Oh, actually, it's morning in EST, but I don't know what time zone you guys are at. I think, Riley, have you been here before? Oh, we got 5 people. Please say hi, Ernesto. Hi, Ernesto. How are you guys doing? Sorry, my watch just vibrated. No, Violet, that's my name. I heard when I was making my name. Oh, hi, Violet. Oh, we got 10 people. I'm about to go to church. I love that for you. How is everybody's Sunday before we get started? Don't be shy. Oh, we got 12. Don't be shy. It's good. How was your guys' weekend? I'm good, girl. I'm not sure if you're saying you're a good girl or I'm good, comma, girl. Okay. That's a statement. So have they kind of dived in and done any healing type work? Have you guys kind of looked into inner child work? Should we start from the beginning and talk about, inner child wounds, or should we just dive into healing the inner child, like how to do it? Guys, please be a little appropriate. People say I should have mods. Should I have mods? I don't know. I kind of like people, if they're gonna say whatever they're gonna say, then they might as well say it with their whole chest, I'm new here. Hi, Amy. On my channel, we talk about healing different things. She asked? What? I don't know what that means. Heal the inner child. Are you saying you want to heal the inner child? Toy with the trolls, have fun. You know what? That's literally what I'm about. I don't want to censor anybody. Like I said, if you're going to say something, be confident what you're saying. It's going to be out there. Thanks, Amy. I'm so glad that you subbed. I genuinely appreciate all of you guys so much. Like, I don't know how much or how to express how much I appreciate all of you, but I really do. It's crazy to me. Like, when I even had like 100 subscribers, I was like, that's crazy that 100 people are willing to watch my content, and that's so amazing. Thank you. Okay, so we'll talk about kind of some inner child healing work. So I'm not sure if you're new here. I talk a lot about on my channel about, you know, the mother wound and the father wound. Just here to support you and compliment you. Honestly, you know what? I wish I could compliment you, but you know, if this was a two-way conversation. But I mean, I'll say that you're killing it in life. You're doing great. But I would love for you to add to the conversation. Maybe there's some inner child healing work that you want to do. Okay. Where was I? Oh, so, you know, there's the mother wound and the father wound. And here's the thing. A lot of people think that they have to have, like, the worst of the worst parents to have some type of wound, but that's not the case at all. You could just, you know, have a parent that doesn't attend to your needs, and it can cause a trauma. Trauma is very individual to different people. It's very individual. So the thing with healing the inner child is you have to identify your wounds, and you have to figure out what is the wound that's that needs attending to. Like what, because every wound needs different healing techniques. I'm so glad you enjoy my lives. I'm so glad that you're here, Riley. I appreciate you so much. I think you're the only person in here. Oh wait, now we have two people again. Hi, Alaviv Wood. I always wonder why you guys choose the names that you do. Okay, so can you give a shout out to me, please? Okay, what do you want me to call you? Oh, we got 5 people. Okay. So for the new people that are jumping in, we're talking about healing the inner child and the different wounds. So going back, what I was saying is you have to identify the wound that needs to be healed, because it's crazy, but there's Livy. Hi, Livy. I hope you're having a good day. Each wound needs attending to in different ways, and you need different tools. You have a question? Go at it. What's your question, Amy? I'm here to answer any questions. And for anyone here, don't be shy. You know, you can say whatever or ask anything or say anything or what have you. It's supposed to be a safe space. There's no judgment. Oh, look, it's the one who was asking about my zodiac sign. I'm doing good. How are you doing? It's hard at times to show love to my boyfriend. Okay, I'm listening. How can I open up to him more? Well, there's a lot of things that I would say is missing. Why are you having a hard time showing love to your boyfriend? What's going on? Is this a common problem that you have in your relationships? I'm sorry about my username. My friend made it, and my actual name is Livy. No, don't worry about your username. There's nothing wrong with your username. I just think it's interesting. I always wonder the story behind why people choose the username that they do. You're not doing anything wrong. You don't have to be sorry. Because my parents didn't show me much. I know, that's hard. It's hard. So what you're saying is that you don't know how to show love, correct? So did your boyfriend express to you that he's having a hard time, or not that he's having a hard time, did your boyfriend express to you that he doesn't feel loved? What makes you think that you're not showing him enough love? Mm-hmm. Did he tell you what he needs more of? And anyone else, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer anything. Even if it's not specifically about the inner child, I'm still here to answer any questions that you may have. I wonder if I could put a poll and a question in there. I don't think I can. But while I'm waiting for Amy, I'll talk a little bit more about, he keeps trying to get me to give, is this a sexual, a foot? He keeps trying, hold on, sorry. He keeps trying to get me to give him a foot. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying he tries to get me to give him a foot. That would be, I don't even know what that would be some weird stuff. Okay. Okay, that's how he feels like he would feel loved? I can't tell if this is a genuine question or like a joke, because sometimes people do say things to be funny. I mean, if you're comfortable with it, then do it. But if you're not, then you don't have to. If you like, if that's the only thing, I feel like there's got to be more to the story than that's the only thing. I think that's like a way to get someone off, but I don't think that would attribute to making him feel more loved necessarily. Do I also have problems? Of course, I'm human. You know what? I'm going to tell you a little secret. The people that help the people the most usually are the ones that have the most problems. They just don't tell you. Do you want to be friends? Sure. We could be YouTube friends. You comment on my YouTube videos. I'll comment back. What do you guys think about healing inner child work? Do you think that it's something that works, or you think that it's just a bunch of hocus pocus? Yeah, it's one thing. Okay, well, like I said, if you're comfortable doing it, then do it. If you don't want to do it, then don't do it. If you want to work on becoming more comfortable, that's a whole different story. If you think it works. Do you do any inner child work, Livy? No? Are you interested in learning more about it? Have you ever tried it? I mean, I'm not going to answer that question because I feel like, I don't know. You don't know? You don't know if you're interested in trying it? Livy, how old are you? You seem like you're young. I feel like probably a lot of people that go on YouTube lives are young. You're 10? You're still a child. What are you doing? Where's your parents? What do you do? I don't think you're allowed to be on YouTube by yourself. Just be careful of what you watch. Okay, good luck, Amy. That sounds good. So, so I have a 10-year-old that's still a child in my life. Someone isn't thinking about foot stuff. Is anyone genuinely interested in learning about inner child work? I have to go feed my horse with my mom, but I said, thank you, Livy. Bye. Have a good day feeding the horses with your mom. Is there any way I can show love to him? Of course. There's lots of different ways you could show love to him. You could show love, like even like if you notice he's having a bad day and you pick up his favorite food or something, or giving him like affection, like hugs and kisses throughout the day, or making his favorite meal, or checking in on him and being like, hey, how are you doing? I feel like a lot of couples, they forget to check in with one another because we get so wrapped up in our own lives that we forget to say to our partner, like, hey, how are you doing? Like, how do you feel about your day-to-day life? Yeah, try doing different things like that. Also, you can ask him, what price are you paying for speaking truth and building content? Every truth teller pays. What price am I paying? Do you mean like emotionally, or you mean like I'm paying money? That's a good question, Michael. I think you were in my live last time too. I need to hug him more. Yeah, go at it, girl. Like, you can, it may be hard. You maybe need to set a reminder to hug him. You're okay. Sometimes when you're not used to physical intimacy where you give people hugs, like sometimes you need to set a reminder, like give my man a hug. So I've been in toxic relationships which were absolutely horrific, which I feel happened because my inner child didn't heal in many ways from what I've been through in my childhood. Do you want to talk about it? See, let's dive into it. Let's talk about it. Also, if you're interested, guys, I have Patreon where I am doing inner child work right now. And I have daily challenges that you could go ahead and check out. Every month I'm going to be doing a different daily challenge to heal different wounds inside of us. I'd highly recommend you go check it out. Emotional price paid, and how many relationships have been damaged due to you speaking the truth? Emotional. I mean, I honestly, I'm out of any situations that I would have to pay an emotional price. I feel like if I was doing YouTube at home, it probably would be a different story, like if I was still living in my childhood home. But I personally don't really have to pay the price. I think it's just more so, I don't feel it emotionally, but I would say the worst thing that happens is people commenting like nonsense on my videos. Like maybe they're narcissists themselves and they, project and what have you. But that's a good question, Michael, though. But I personally, right now, I don't. Maybe in the future, if I get more popular, it'll be worse. But right now, I don't suffer anything from it. Do you feel, or have you seen other people when they talk about narcissism pay a price? I also would say that I am careful about who I speak what to. So if I know someone is unhealthy or narcissistic themselves, I don't dive into topics like that. I don't dive into any deep topics. I save my energy. I don't talk about, I mainly do where I'll keep the conversation about them and like their interest in what's going on with them, and I don't really reveal or share anything myself. You gotta be careful of who you speak to and what you speak to them about, because you want to save your energy. If anyone has any questions, I'm here. And see, I'm waiting. You know, you share whatever you feel comfortable with. Like I said, you can also go on my Patreon as well, and like, you know, we can dive deep privately there. Hard relationship ending with me getting an abortion from an avoidant. Things were okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Things were okay. Suddenly one day massive fighting through me. Oh my god, I'm so sorry you dealt with that. That's horrible. Did you deal with physical abuse in your childhood? There's a lot of wounds there, like not enough wounds, feeling unlovable, maybe even shame, guilt, worthlessness. There's so many which I put up with through the relationship. You know what? It's hard when we're emotionally involved. Like, we could be aware something's wrong, but it's really hard because of the cognitive dissonance and the, you know, emotional turmoil that we go through. Nothing. Oh, I just saw somebody walking. Nothing physical through childhood. No. So there's nothing physical. But did you grow up in an upbringing that was, maybe it was either there wasn't a lot of affection, or just parents separating and watching violence with them? Wow, that's rough. So your parents separated. Were they kind of more emotionally neglectful? Oh, were your parents violent to each other? Yeah, it's hard because you repeat the cycle. We find the love that we deem as comfortable, and the example we see from our parents, that's what we see is like, oh, that's what a relationship should be like. Even though you may know it's wrong, like logically, it's still basically, yeah, neglect. I'm sorry. Yeah, when you grow up with seeing parents that are violent to each other, you see, like, you then repeat the pattern of what you've seen, because that's in your brain what's formed is like, oh, this is love, this is what relationships should be like, and then you continue the cycle. Because like I said, you could logically know it's true, but deep in your core, in your belief system, that's like, oh, okay, this is what relationships are like, this is what you like, what you should do. So what I would say is, how do you end the cycle? That's a great question. One, I would say there's probably a lot of attending to your inner child, like visualizations, and really comforting little you and saying like, hey, it wasn't okay what you saw, and like, I'm sorry that you had to see these things and you didn't have parents that gave you the love that you deserved and you needed, and it was completely unfair to you. Like, you need to be really compassionate and loving to your inner child. And I'm sorry, just trying my heart, I know I'm gonna lose a good man. Okay, we'll come back to that. So you really, really, truly want to give love to that part of you, because you want to connect your adult self and your inner child self together. Because like the person that's picking the relationships is going to sound a little weird, but it's your inner child that's picking those relationships. You're trying to heal the wound your parents left if you don't heal it on your own through relationships, through going in these abusive relationships. So you need to, you know, attend to the inner child, to give the love that you needed as a child, and build your self-esteem and your confidence up, and learn what a relationship should look like and what you want in a relationship, and also who are you as a person, like what do you like about yourself. And it's just my emotional connecting part I'm having a hard time with. Listen, from what I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like there's an end to your relationship, Amy. It just sounds like you need to work a little bit on healing the wound of not knowing how to give love, and maybe even receive love. Maybe you don't know how to receive love. I don't know that much about your life, but I would definitely recommend, you know, learn how to give love. And it sounds like you have a man that's willing to work with you on it. So just continue to grow. Like, people don't just throw people out just because they don't know how to do something. It's when they don't try. That's when people start to get fed up of like, okay, you're not trying and this isn't working for me. That's great. I'm really glad that you have a relationship that you take care of each other. I hope my phone doesn't die. I think it's on like 30%. Everything take care of my daughter, that's not his own. That's really sweet. I love that. I sound like he's a very understanding person. Okay, I know what you're gonna say, Amy. Okay, we got it. We got it, Amy. Do you want to be convinced? I'm not sure what you're looking for, girl. I would say maybe talk to somebody while you're struggling with it. I don't feel like this is an appropriate place to like dive into that. But you should talk to somebody, maybe a therapist or, friends or what have you, but talk to somebody about why you're struggling with it. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I don't hear there's any proof that you're going to lose him over it. But I don't think a YouTube Live is the best place to talk about this. Are you still in the live, C? I wonder if people ever ask questions and then they just, as soon as they start answering, they just leave. Hi, Christina. Oh, there you are. See, how to heal inner child after having been through so much related trauma in life. I feel like there's two separate wounds. There's the inner child wounds, or like I had mentioned before, you repeat the cycle because you're trying to heal the relationship with like your parents through your relationships as an adult. And then there's healing the trauma as an adult. I'll try tonight and see what happens. Okay, good luck, Amy. Love that for you. It's different work, because one is connecting the inner child and your adult self together and like giving your inner child love. Okay, don't lose hope, Amy. And then the other part is like your adult self that has been through the traumatic relationships that you need to work through and heal. Like grieving. There's also a shame aspect that you may go through. A lot of people, they'll feel shame about having been through those relationships and thinking that they should have known better, or like they just beat themselves up. So there may be that aspect you may go through. There's also the anxiety and the fear of, because you've been betrayed. Yeah, I'm sure. And you know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's not something inherently wrong with you that you had gotten tricked. It happens to a lot of people, because me. There's a lot of these abusive type people. Is my watch vibrating? Says my activity's up. These felt like how I put up with. He was a proper loser. You know what? You probably felt compassion for him and you felt bad for him because you felt like, he was a loser. But that's the thing, is like abusive people. How could you not see it for what it was? Because you're someone who's compassionate and empathetic, and that's who abusive people go after, is people that they know will give them things that they can't give themselves. He was a single dad. Yeah, I'm sure you felt empathy for him and his child or children, what have you. That shame and that compassion and that fear probably kept you stuck. So it's so important to be compassionate towards yourself. You were trying to do the best that you could. A lot of stems from past trauma. Yeah, 100%. So that's the thing, is that there's like, really imagine a friend is telling you all these things that you've been through. You probably wouldn't be like, oh, that person's weird or gross. You'd probably be like, I'm so sorry for that person. That's really sad they went through that, and that other guy sucks. So that's the same way you need to treat yourself, the same way you would treat a friend. Like, I'm so sorry that you had experienced those things. It's so easy to shame ourselves, and hate ourselves for things because we're our biggest critic. But we also need to be the most compassionate towards ourselves. I feel like I saw my dad when I said, I was going to say maybe you saw your dad, but I didn't want to make assumptions and be annoying. Do you reckon that could be how I viewed it? Yeah, 100%. We, like I said earlier, we go into relationships trying to heal the wounds of our childhood through our relationships, present day and adulthood. I'm really glad that it helped you, Amy. I hope, you feel like you have the courage and you got this, you could do this. But don't think that someone's going to leave you just because you're struggling with something, like I said. That's pretty messed up. Which is messed up? The way that you viewed it or that he sucks? I really would never know looking back with a man like that. You would never go with a man like that now, you're saying? Yeah, you know what? Like, you didn't see anything was truly wrong with it because it was normal in your childhood, most likely. But now you've been through it as an adult. So there's the child self that when you're a child, you explain off your parents and be like, oh no, like you still have to feel like they love you and there's nothing wrong with you, wrong with them rather, because if you believe something's wrong with them, then you feel traumatized and you feel alone in the world because they're your caregivers. You're helpless without them. So that's why a lot of children will explain off that their parents are like okay and they're safe. And there's nothing really wrong with them, and more so they take the blame and say there's something wrong with me. I'm the problem child, and so you take those childhood beliefs with you. Good luck, Amy. You take those childhood beliefs with you, and you still have, like, when you see someone that's similar to your parent that had been abusive to you, you still have that belief of like, it's not really him that's the problem, it's me that I'm the problem. And so like then when you get out of the relationship, because you can reason now, when you're a child you can't reason, you are like, oh my god, like that person sucks so bad, but now you're completely traumatized by the world and you're afraid of everyone being like that, and you're afraid that like everybody has your worst interest, and that especially if they were nice in the beginning, you're afraid that like of people being nice even. That sounds like a great idea, Amy. Definitely, have a healthy convo and work together. There 100% are like healthy men out there. But doing the trauma work is so important. Hello, I'm late to your life. Hey, Autumn. I'm sorry that you have brain fog. I get it. Brain fog is tough. But you know what? You're here now. You made it. Any questions you have, Autumn, I'm here. Of course. I just picked the wrong one due to child trauma. Yeah, you definitely did. Do you feel like you have tools now and you have learned things from that experience? Doing the trauma work? Alright, bye Amy. Thanks for subscribing. See you later. I'm so glad, Amy. Amy, if you're interested, go check out my Patreon. I have more inner child work and stuff like that. Do you want to share the kind of skills that you've picked up on them? You know what's interesting? Brain fog and chronic illnesses a lot of the times actually come from traumatizing upbringings. You know what? I actually do coaching services. So if you're ever interested, I have my coaching services you could go check out. Go check out everything on my channel. But like I said, I got my Patreon you could talk to me on. You could message, and I have the inner child work, and I got coaching too. Go check it all out. Thank you so much, Amy. Childhood trauma mostly. Yeah, no, childhood trauma, it affects you physically and mentally. A lot of people are sick because of childhood trauma, and it just shows up in adulthood. Like the nervous system goes haywire and just you get sick. I'll tell my friends about you. Thank you, Amy. I would really appreciate that. Any word of mouth out there, I really appreciate. I just love helping people. I just want to help the world. So you don't see this in adults whose parents had healthy relationships? See what specifically? Well, here's the thing. No, you don't see trauma in people that have healthy relationship with their parents. But I was saying in the beginning of my live that you can have like good parents, but if they don't attend to a certain need of yours, it could hurt you. It doesn't mean like you'll be like traumatized, like, you know, like crazy, but you could still have a wound inside of you. For instance, let's say you have more of a lighthearted mom and you're someone who's a little more serious and she couldn't attend to your needs, that will still hurt you. That you'll still have some type of wound about that. But you won't see that they will be severely traumatized the way that someone dealt with physical or emotional abuse. That's why it's called abuse. Almost all of us, we will be with someone that is similar to our parents' relationship or like one of our parents, or the complete opposite. So you can see when like someone's dating someone, you'll see, oh, that person is like dating someone very similar to their dad or their mom, or oh wow, this person's like the opposite of their dad or mom. It really depends how the parents, or how the child feels about their parents. And what kind of wounds may have been left. If you're a child that has, should we attract a partner just like the worst parent? It really depends. It depends. It depends how our brains process the trauma. If you have unhealed wounds, then you will attract someone to try to heal those wounds. It's not because you like the parent. It's more so because we as humans, we don't like unresolved things. And so our brains try to resolve it by being with someone that's similar to the trauma that we had, because we're trying to resolve it. These are great questions, Z. I'm so glad you're asking them. And like I said, any questions anybody has, I'm here. What's your advice on an impossible person? Maybe you have someone in your life that's impossible, just get cut off and receive the silent treatment. It really depends on a lot of factors. Is it a parent? Is it a partner? Is it a friend? Is it a boss? Like what? It depends on the relationship with the person. And like how much you have to interact with this person. Do you live with the person? I feel like it's hard to give advice if there's not enough context to the situation. I would say probably though the most generic advice I'd give if you have someone that gives a silent treatment and cuts you off is be careful what you talk to them about. Don't invest in them and talk about emotional things. Only talk to them about the things that you have to talk to them about. Mother, that's really rough. If you don't live with your mother, then I would say try to set boundaries about how often you talk to this person. Low contact. Okay. So if it's low contact, then I would say keep in your mind, keep a guideline of the things that you do talk to them about and keep it to that. Don't talk about anything personal. Don't talk about anything that's triggering, for instance, maybe politics or religion or anything like that. Because you'll less likely, I mean, they still will give the silent treatment, but they're less likely to give the silent treatment if you don't talk about something that is going to, trigger them. You really want to keep it as simple as possible, the conversations. You maybe say, hey, how are you? Talk about a couple topics that you feel comfortable talking about. And if they do give you the silent treatment, don't even show you care. Be like, okay, hope you feel better, something like that. And if they choose not to talk to you, unfortunately, that's on them. Like, you have to show that you don't care. Otherwise, if you show you care, then they're going to do it more. They get power over not speaking to you and you, like, begging them to want to talk. So this, a whole other thing is having to grieve over the mother, which I do have tons of videos on that, or grieving over a narcissistic or an abusive mother. But if you're talking about day-to-day how to deal with someone that's like that, then I would definitely say be careful of the things you talk about and, go feel sad on your own time, but don't show any emotional reactions to them. What are the signs that childhood trauma is ruling my relationship choices? Just so I know, that's what's happening when I get in a future relationship. Okay, 1, triggers. How you're dealing with your triggers will reveal your childhood trauma. So what are you getting triggered by and how are you dealing with your triggers? 2, I would be aware, I would learn about how to communicate with people, with like your partner, and again, like what a healthy relationship looks like. And I think, I would say probably to keep it simple, the biggest thing is your triggers, where it feels in your body, and how you're responding to your triggers. That's really what will reveal your childhood traumas. Because trauma really is basically, to narrow it down, like an emotional response to something. A big emotional response to something. So if you're aware of your emotional responses to things and you narrow it down and be like, oh, this triggers me, this triggers me, this triggers me, then you'll see what your inner child gets triggered by. People who don't really have childhood trauma, or they've done a lot of healing work, they have less triggers, or their triggers they don't get such intense reactions to their triggers. I would say it takes a lot of self-awareness and figuring out what you're triggered. I was getting triggered because he would absolutely treat me in front of his therapist. I mean, I think that's a valid thing to get triggered by. That's you getting mistreated. Like, that's reasonable to even to get angry about. I know it's weird. I'm not. No. It's not weird at all. That's very normal. If you're getting disrespected, especially in front of a child, like, that's terrible. No, like, that's not okay. And that teaches, what's worse about that is, like, disrespecting you in front of people is terrible, but what's worse than that is getting disrespected in front of a child, because that teaches the child that it's okay to treat you like shit, which is gross. So you're not weird for that. Because children learn based on their parents how to treat other people, or how to do most things in life. So he's teaching his child, hey, treat my partner badly, which is wrong. I don't know, last thing he said to the child, stay away from her, and that is terrible. I feel bad for the child. Ugh, I hate that. I'm sorry. That's such a rough situation to be in. Well, you know what? From me, I'll say thank you for stepping up and taking care of his son. His son may not know now, but when he gets older, he'll appreciate that someone took care of him. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's really hard. I hope you're in a better situation now and you can do the healing work. It was a she. Oh, I'm sorry. You said, oh, okay, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, no, that's a tough situation to be in. I hear what you're saying. I apologize for any incorrections. Oh. If anyone has any other questions, I'm here. I'm probably gonna end the live soon. Thank you so much for being here, C. I'm sorry for all that you've been through, but you're one tough person. I firmly believe you're going to find love and you're going to be happy. It will feel so much better when you do the healing work. It's tough, but it's worth it. Thank you for checking out my page. Like I said, you know, I do coaching as well, so if you're ever interested, but for now I'll be doing lives. Anybody else have any questions? Am I doing a staring contest with the two people that are in here? Oh, now we have 3. I wonder if new people are coming in or just people are staying and then leaving. You don't have to leave. No, you don't have to leave. I'm being playful. Of course. So nobody has any other questions. I think, you know what, whoever leaves questions, they're so brave. Because I think sometimes it's hard to be vulnerable and ask questions. Alright, on that note, I'm so glad that for anyone that showed up, no one's even here anymore, but it's fine. Okay, I hope everybody has a good day, and hopefully I'll do a live soon. Bye, guys.